Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. It's lovely to have you here. So, welcome new subscribers. It's great to have you with us, joining in the party and bringing your energy to this. Thank you. And I want to say a special thank you to everyone who commented on the last video. It was a new and very difficult energy, very nebulous, for me to learn to navigate. And you guys came in with your beautiful comments, no judging, there was no fixing, there was no advising me or telling me what to do. And it was a breath of fresh air. So, yeah, genuine thanks. So, we're all going to be going through this depending where we are on our path, as we wobble onto new timelines and learn to navigate new energies in our own way and respecting that our own way is very different to everybody else's. Because that's the point, right? Is to bring your uniqueness to the world and to hold others in their uniqueness. So thank you so much for your comments. I do love your comments. But first, I want to bring something completely odd to you. So, I love words, so I subscribe to Merriam-Webster's Word of the Day. And this funny thing has been happening recently where I'm not saying the word and thinking the word, and it starts turning up. And I'm just curious about that. So, literally, for the last couple of days, I've been with this word, and the word energetically, for me, doesn't mean what the word means. So, here's the word. The word is raconteur. And raconteur is someone who can, tell a good an anecdote or tell a good story or transform something mundane into something exciting that people want to listen to. But to me, the word raconteur paints a picture of like a greasy gin salesman in a broad pinstripe with spats in prohibition times. Raconteur. And that landed like half an hour ago. So I'm just sharing that with you. Feel free to speak to that. I don't care how weird you go. Feel free, struggling to speak to that. Raconteur. Okay. So I want to speak into the full moon. Cancer. I wanted to speak to the full moon, which is happening in Cancer, Western, but you can pick the energies up. It will pick the whole wheel up. December the 27th. And that kind of expanded into this. Ooh, this is interesting. The whole of the end of December is presenting with some very interesting energies. So I've done like a energy soup, and it may take one or two listens. There's a lot of information in it. Okay. So I'm still working with Neptunian energies and some fierce solar geomagnetic storms. Another one this morning, which aren't affecting me as badly as they were late summer. So am I calibrating the energy? Maybe. And when these new energies came in, it's this kind of, do you remember the Black Cat moment in the Matrix film, the glitch in the Matrix? There was this imperceptible shift where I kind of went from here to here. It was my spatial reality was shifting, and it was very discombobulating. And I know some of you have been going through that too. So that's all easing off now. The many are becoming the one. So there's a lovely holistic integration taking place. So collectively, we're building, and this is where we walk into the end of December, for Venus, Mars, and Mercury all in Sagittarius, or I guess Scorpio in sidereal. At the end of the year. So from now until, I'm not going to bore you with dates, but from now until the end of the year, this is going to be happening. And that's all happening with a full moon in Cancer. And as I tuned into the energies and just studied the chart and the lines and the angles, What I got were the words surpassing parental programming. That was my immediate response. Um, so some of the positions I'm going to go through. So we've got Venus squaring Saturn, um, with a question around meeting parental limitation to love. So where your love language may have been clipped, clipped wings, clipped love language. So love language isn't about the contents of a Hallmark card. Love language can be telling the truth. Love language can be plainly stating love for a parent who cannot receive because the parent has no blueprint to receive. So limitations to love. In that fourth house of Cancer, the house of foundation, family, roots, ancestor, parental beliefs, behaviors, what has been adopted by the child and is preventing the child from birthing something new along that ancestral line. Okay. And surpassing the parent. So this is the movement, is where the child really rises and grows and surpasses the parent. That's a heck of a movement. I make it sound easy, but it brings in all sorts of shame and guilt, or can do. Okay, so limitations to love, especially in the face of authority, parent, or subconscious fears around loss or poverty, whether material or immaterial. So, wanting to retreat into your inner Venus might look a bit hermity. And that might trigger a fear of loss of 3D life, loss of partying, loss of friends, loss of that as you really start to cultivate and nurture this. I might even go so far to say, what about a marriage of convenience designed for security, but driven by poverty mindset? Okay. Doesn't have to be some landed gentry contract. It can literally be two people searching for safety, security. Okay. At its healthiest, love is free to express itself in many unconventional ways, and this is what we are building. Love from authentic essence rather than ancestral programming. Free, unbounded. The other day, working in the liminal, I was asked a fantastic question. I'm still chewing it, and this is like a week later. I'm going to share it with you because it might be amazing to ask it and be asked it at the dinner table at Christmas. The question is, and if you see yourself through my eyes, what do you see? Now imagine that from child to parent and parent to child. Imagine that from guide to embodied soul and back to guide. Imagine that between you and your pet. Okay. So really pondering this, I have imagined using this question around the Christmas dinner table in the collective and how interesting that might be. This full moon feels ancestral. The whole energy feels very karmic completion, very wheel completing. What happens when a child's expression of love surpasses the parent? Conflict or celebration? The other day, I watched a video made by one of my favorite mythologists, but this time she'd made a different video with her husband who wanted to come and talk about what it was like as a child. and what it is now to be gender neutral in their expression. And there he sat, extremely comfortable in his skin, long-haired, wearing a silk kimono with fishnets. As I watched, I heard myself say, what a gorgeous way to express embracing difference. Here now in this energy, I wonder what their relationship was like and is like through the eyes of their respective parents. I wonder how much courage he needed growing up just to be who he wanted to be. And I wonder about the collective dissonance or resonance to a new emergence of self in the house of Cancer and the generational foundation of family and home. So it has the potential to reshape the family. 11:11. So what I've done is I've cast a chart. I'm not going to get too fixed in dates. I've cast it right towards the end of December. And these are the energies that are catching my eye. So we have Mercury squaring Neptune in Pisces. Eccentricity or deceit. The age-old conflict of inner and outer, the imperience and the experience. This might speak to where a child has to lie in order to conform to mum or dad's imprinting model. Mercury can be used to tell a higher truth, but mixed with Neptune in the unconscious house of Pisces, it can tell a lie it's not even aware of, or it can birth an eccentricity so wild it doesn't get met by anyone. Question: is my magic hidden because of fear around persecution? Mars conjunct Mercury. So we've got Mercury squaring Neptune and conjunct Mars. Mars conjunct Mercury in Sag. Mars conjunct Mercury in Sag can be wildfire or an overly expressive, overly opinionated rhetoric. Is that the raconteur? I think that's where the raconteur comes in. Blab large. The raconteur can blab large. Okay. Effort is needed to bring the wildfire to heal and use it carefully. Mars square Neptune, on the other hand, can strengthen and bring determination to access the unconscious self, but discipline will be needed. You know, when we start accessing our unconscious self, our wild magic, our untapped source, we've got to break down one or two programs, such as need for validation, need to be met and approved of. Yeah, the soul needs a witness, but there's healthy witnessing and there's craving, feedback, the craving feedback loop. And that could go all the way back to the child that was watching for cues from the parents. So this is the parentified child. It's not free to follow its own inner cue. It's watching and it's waiting for the parents. And what happens is when the parents become unable to manage their own emotions, the child comes in and micromanages for them. Okay. Big, beautiful, complex cycle. So when we come into authenticity, we start to come into autonomy and need less. And remember, Mercury is retrograde. So Mercury retrograde is in Sag. Think, then think again. Use the what if and go deeper. There might be something hidden behind what you're already thinking. And so again, this is going to break down, start to dissolve parental programming in that Cancer energy that might create a limitation to your exploration, creativity, imagination, freedom to express yourself. So when you switch to from something like I can't, and they might not be your words, to what if? What if? What if I look at the clock one day and it's 11:61? And the clock has done that all on its own. What if I think the word raconteur and it appears in my email? What if? Just go beyond like a child, go beyond. And what that will do is that will just loosen the doors of the mind. So now we have Venus coming into the picture. Venus in Sagittarius is going to square Saturn. Where does my art or self-expression meet or clash with another's authority? Where have I taken responsibility for others' wants and needs? So this speaks to the parentified child and parental limitations. So where a child takes responsibility for mum and dad's feelings, their boundaries just become evaporated. No boundaries. So the child struggles then to find the edge of itself in the beginning of something else. And so the child may lead life just becoming entangled in drama all over the place with no sense of discernment, because that boundary of discernment, oh, this isn't my energy, because I know what I feel like within my boundary. And then when I meet someone else, I can sense a difference in energy. So this is when I talk about an energy boundary, this is what I mean. Kids lose that. Kids who have had it tough, they lose that through no fault of their own. Okay, so I want to go to these, I want to circle back to these placements and read them as a Sabian story, because it starts to get really interesting. So without any break, I'm just going to read straight through Neptune, Mars, Mercury, and Venus. The purging of priesthood, ability periodically to cleanse from all selfish dross, the channels for spiritual service, true vision, soul reformation. A chubby boy on a hobby horse, growth through vicarious, imaginative experiences which life might deny us, detachment from reality, self-conversation, conservation. Flag bearer in battle, exaltation of physical valor as necessary support to lofty race ideals, spectacular effort, endowment beyond realization. Immigrants entering a new country, new openings that come to all who are willing to risk self for the sake of greater selfhood, reorientation, presumption. Children in Halloween costumes indulging in various pranks, need for giving free rein to unsocial instincts within the pale of social traditions, planned release of inner pressure. So can you see that whole story talks about detachment from something and a reorientation to something else? That's the movement, okay, for greater selfhood. So we're coming into greater selfhood. And to do that, we've got to dissolve what's holding us back and sometimes be unsocial, unsociable, unconventional. So when we add to all of this, Jupiter will go direct in Taurus, second house, and square Pluto. And we're talking about having the confidence to surpass the parents. Okay, so we're talking about resource, money, the made world in Taurus. Squaring Pluto, which is going to transform, okay? Jupiter wants to expand. Pluto wants to transform. So the confidence to surpass the parents with a stubborn fighting spirit. It speaks to harnessing disharmony and friction in order to trigger transformation at a generational level and bring the inner and outer self into alignment. This cannot be done by adhering to social conformity and politeness. Okay. Now, those of you that know me will know that I've said regularly in 2023, and we're ramping. Kind of from summer, we're going to ramp. The ramp continues because there's some big astrology coming up in 2024. I haven't studied it yet, but it's the Uranus-Jupiter conjunction in Taurus. There's that second house. So Uranus is going to come in with Jupiter. That's the second house revolution. Revolution. Okay. I haven't studied yet. But if you want to shift ahead and have a look at that, do feel free. Right. Let's set the frame. Let's set the frame. And without agenda, let's just see what the messages are for the end of December. I've got Aladdin's A Whole New World playing in my head. Okay, let's have some messages, please. Oh my God. Okay, bear with me. Several things are happening at once here. How has that happened? Just see what these are. So this is a new deck. Sacred Horse by Kathy Pike. They are stunning. I would like to wallpaper my whole house in these cards. Okay, now, no surprises, but the first card out is the Elder Mother. Wisdom, grace, dignity, and surefiredness. Between two worlds, that's interesting. It's the Elder Mother between two worlds. What I'm getting here, it's almost like something was removed from coding to allow for the age of narcissism. I won't land on it just yet, but this is the energy that's coming in. Okay, we have ancestor in the house. We absolutely do. Okay, so teachers of kindness and clarity coming in with Archangel Gabriel. Aren't they stunning? So, welcome, Mercury, Cancer, Venus, Neptune. Feels oceanic, vast, deep, old. Mm, okay. Too many. Oh, this is interesting. Chiromancer. That's a new word, the chiromancer. Delivering news, collaboration. There's a strong call here to go hermit because I sense there's going to be a lot coming in. Oh, we've got solstice as well in 3 days. Oh, how do I explain this? There's like false false humility slash guilt slash shame energy of not reaching for the last slice of Christmas pudding and wearing the labels if you do. Right, thank you. So I once went to a workshop. It was a business thing. It's just full of suits. But the bit that really made me giggle is so I had my own business at the time, and I'd taken my marketing manager with me. And the guy on the stage pulls a tenner out of his wallet, waves it in the air, and he says, "Right, who wants this tenner?" And everybody sat around going, "Oh, yeah, me." Hands went up, me. My manager jumps up, runs up onto the stage, snatches it out of his hand, and comes back to sit down. And I thought, good for you, the audacity of that. I later attended another workshop where the same gag was pulled, and I ran up on stage and grabbed the tenor. This, this is that energy. This is that energy because, thank you. Oh, this is beautiful. It's the end of codependency, the absence of codependency. I'm going to reach that thing, but I kind of need your approval. And this is like clean and clear. If you want it, go and get it. But you see where the ancestral programming comes in. But I'll no longer be a graceful, sacred horse. I might be a snarling dog. Uh-huh. You still want it? Well, well, well. That's so beautifully. Just want to give big props to the energy stream that's bringing that message in. I wanted it, but they got it first. Oh, gosh, gosh. Determination and sacrifice. Determination to have it if you want it, or pursue it if you want to explore it. And the sacrifice of needing approval or inclusion or praise. Crikey me. Yeah. Let's go. Mundane tarot for the mundane story. and bring it right down. Mm. I don't know what the card is, but I think I know what it is. And I'm holding the question, why does it feel so watery? And this feels so decisive. This feels watery. These feel so decisive. Yeah, it is. It's the Queen of Cups. There is a lot of love on the table. I'm not sensing the traditional attributes of that kind of, well, Mars in Sag is what it looks like. It's the go-getter. Check this out. Oh my goodness me. Go hermit. Sit, tune in, grab a pencil and a jotter. Sit and listen. Or fall asleep under a tree, whatever. There's a lot. We've got Gabriel here as well. There's a lot coming through. There is a lot coming through. That's beautiful. The message from the priestess to the Queen of Cups is to harness your emotions and use them in a different way. Generally, we use our emotions, if we haven't done our inner journey, we use our emotions to judge others, whether that be for the uplift or for the downdraft. Goodness me. With what's on the table, this is not birthing from passion. This is birthing from source. Like a kid. Okay, new beginnings. Page is beginner, beginner manifester on your own terms. If that looks like wearing a kimono and fishnets, bring it, but own it. Yeah, yeah. Let's look at the underlying story because it's getting meaty now. Okay, so underlying stories, death and rebirth, which goes without saying. Three of Swords can be what a changing relationship looks and feels like. Okay. So you can use that story and keep telling that story. You can sit in it and go to it, understand it, learn from it, receive from the priestess. Remember who you are. This is all the water. This is remember who you are. Okay. If we're talking death and rebirth with the Three of Swords, you can let it go if you want. if you want. Balance, equal give and take. Symbiosis. Nice. Protect your kimono. That's going to get challenged. Where you think you've been left out, that's the abandonment wound. That's going to get challenged in this. For you to remember who you are, it's got to be challenged. It's got to be challenged. Yeah, definitely fast energy. Definitely fast energy. End of December. Well, it's weird actually because this feels slow, deep water. You know how slowly the water moves at the bottom compared to the top. But the underlying story is what's still yet to come through, and that feels it's like, who do you want to be in this moment? Who do you want to be in this moment? Oh, lovely. Okay. All change. Look, all change. If you're stuck in your head going around and around, get into your emotions and listen. Listen. It's where your learning is. Tower. Knight of Swords. Yeah, this is the letting go. Look, this is impetuosity here. Can also be running away. So that's if that's coming out with the Nine of Swords, this can be evading, pretending. Here's the end. It's brilliant. Ten of Pentacles is actually a card about letting go. Ten of Pentacles basically says, okay, you've got it all now. Now what? What are you willing to let go of? Did we have sacrifice? Queen sacrifice. So this is when it's time to change, Ten of Pentacles, and step onto a new timeline. Okay, so we've had the Tower, death and rebirth, Ten of Pentacles, and the World. Okay, and the World. Big change. All right, my peeps, that is it. Is there anything else I need to do? I'm going to pull a couple of closing cards from somewhere. I don't know which deck. Yeah, Black Moon Astrology. Closing messages, please. Thank you. Those angles and those squares. There's nothing really to say to this. It's okay to be provoked. It's okay to provoke. Obviously, if harm is in your heart, check that. If your truth is going to provoke another, check it. Don't strangle it. You know, if it's your truth, it's your truth. This is what this time is designed for. It's going to break down that resistance to truth. Because Daddy used to laugh at me, Mummy used to laugh at me, or make me go and do something else when I was telling them that there was a baby dragon under the bed. I don't know, but you know where I'm going with this, where your truth got stifled. Oh, fire, fire. And the underlying card. I can't make this up. Ah, North Node is in Aries. The I am. Wow, we're really, oh, yes. Yep, provocative. That's my word. Provocative wisdom. How about that? Provocative wisdom of the raconteur. I'm joking. Right. Peoples, that is it. Thank you so much for being here. I don't know if I'm going to get another video out this week. Break up on Wednesday, so I'm pretty busy. But if I don't, I'll pop something on the community tab. So I'm going to leave you with my love and wish you just a gorgeous Christmas, whatever that means to you, whether you celebrate it or not. And a provocatively wisdom-filled end of the year. That's it. Take great care. I'll be back when I can.